All right, hello, my name is Mr. Wise Guy. Welcome to my channel. Do not leave. We're watching the man himself, Donald Trump. And it's the full interview. But before we get into the video, like and subscribe. Comments are great too. Thank you very much. So on to the show.
President Trump, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Thank you.
I want to dive right into this, a lot to get to.
Good.
There are a number of things that make your campaign unprecedented. You are the first former president to run for re-election in more than 100 years. You are facing 4 indictments. You have an incredibly significant lead in the GOP primary polls. But I want to ask you this, Mr. President. Why do you want to be president again?
Why do you want to be
it's a very
president?
simple answer, and I can give it very easily. It's called Make America Great Again. Our country is in...
This is very interesting, by the way. Before we even get into it, I'm just going to say whatever I want to say. In the past, NBC has not been super charitable, so to speak, to Donald Trump. So this is interesting how she's framing it. It seems like she's doing this in good faith for right now. But so let's just continue. Let's just see what NSNBC is going to try and do.
serious trouble. I don't think we've ever.
What is
been
Donald
so
Trump
low in
going to
terms
do
of
for this
certainly
country?
Opinion, world opinion, and country opinion. People are devastated. They look at what's happening with millions of people coming in, millions of illegal immigrants coming into our country, flooding our cities, flooding the countryside. I think the number is going to be 15 million people by the
100% correct on that. Like, look at New York. Like, New York is having a real big issue with that. Remember back when they were going into like all those states, and then there was this whole massive issue with DeSantis shipping them up to like Martha's Vineyard, and then a bunch of articles came out saying like how dare he ship migrants to all these very inhospitable locations when Martha's Vineyard is literally like probably the most wealthiest place in America. I think the most wealthiest. I think there's the amount of capital that's on that one little island. I think it's an island, is ridiculous. But people, news articles still characterized it as like, oh, he's sending them to these very inhumane places. How dare DeSantis ship all those I guess illegal aliens, so to speak, to these very inhumane locations. But yeah, I digress. The border states are like, hey, we have this issue, and the federal government at the time was like, nah, not really that much of an issue. And then the states were like, okay, then we're gonna, since we can't deport them, because deporting for a state to be able to deport people, it's that's like a federal thing and not a state thing. So states can't deport people out of the country. They can only move them to other states. So that's what they did. They moved them to other states. And New York was like, hey, we're a sanctuary state. And now it's biting them in the in the ass. And it's just fun to watch. This is really fun to watch. Now New York has this massive illegal immigrant problem. And well, what do you have to say about this, Trump? What do you have to say? And he used to live in New York. Actually, I think he lived in New York for the majority of his life. Donald Trump, yeah.
The time you end this, by the end of this year, I think the real number is going to be 50.
He lives in Florida now, I think.
They come from prisons. They come from mental institutions, insane asylums. They say, sir, please don't use that term, but it's true.
And people say that he goes off the script. I mean, I meant the opposite. And people are just saying that he only looks at the teleprompter. Nah, he goes off script all the time. Please, sir, don't say this. And he still does it. He still says it anyways, because like Donald Trump is his own man. He's gonna tell you what he's thinking. He's not gonna lie to you and be like, and just tell you what you want to hear, which is basically every Democratic politician in a nutshell. They just tell you what you want to hear, and then when they get into power and office, they give you every excuse in the book on why what they promised you could not happen. Oh, it was the Republicans. Oh, the Supreme Court. That's why people are like, oh, Joe Biden's great. He says all these really good things, and then they don't do it, and then they have every excuse in the book on why it didn't happen. Like, oh, the Republicans or whatever, and I'm like, okay. All right. I'm not playing this, by the way. This is me. This is a recording of me playing this game. So if anyone's wondering, yeah, that's there's no way I could do this and talk, have a coherent thought process while doing while playing this game. This game is fun. It's very fun.
terrorists at a level. It was very interesting on NBC.
But you don't care about the game. You care about Donald Trump right now, because that's why you clicked on this video.
Statistics, and it said in 2019 there were no terrorists. They caught no terrorists. There was nothing that they saw. There was no anything.
And this was underneath Donald Trump.
Now, this year, it's a record number like they've never seen before. So we did a great job at the border. We did a great job with the military. We did a great job with inflation. We had essentially no inflation. We had a great economy.
2019, pre-2020, 2019, yeah.
And we didn't have an Afghanistan disaster. We were getting out, but we were going to get out with dignity and pride, not the way they got out. That was a surrender and an embarrassment and horrible. We gave $85 billion worth of equipment to the Taliban. We had death, so much death and so much horrible destruction. And it was a terrible thing. I think it was the lowest point.
Yeah, Biden seriously screwed that thing over, and people are just giving Biden excuses like, "Oh, well, how do you expect things to happen? It's not Biden's fault. Like how do you expect to just pull out the war?" Like, bro, Biden was literally putting off executive orders to extend the time when Trump had a plan, right? And that plan was going to be executed. They were supposed to leave like earlier, but then Biden was taking his sweet time, being like, "Hey, let's extend that. And then he's like, "All right, since everyone," and then I think he just got pressured to the point to where, fine, we'll pull out. And then literally he just took everyone out and not actually do anything smart. He just like, "Well, people wanted to say we wanted to get out, so I just tried to get out." And then left all of our equipment and didn't tell any of our allies. Anyone that's going to vote for Biden again is like literally just retarded.
Point in the history of our country. Now, with all of that, we can change it and we can make America great again. And that's why I'm doing this.
Like, you can vote for Biden because he says, like, he whispers sweet nothings into your ear. And then Trump, at least he tells you what he's thinking and he's not going to lie to you. Well, which one would you rather have? Someone that sells you, is like a snake oil salesman, like, "Hey, look," and tells you all these things you want to hear? Or do you want someone that's that actually tells you what he's going to do and doesn't care how you feel about it? He knows what, like, he's doing the job. Donald Trump's trying to do the job. Biden is just telling you what you want to hear. "Oh, the courts blocked me, even though they told me like prior that if I did this, that it just wouldn't work." And then he puts it in anyways, and then he's so surprised that the courts blocked it. Like, bro, they told you this in advance, and they told you to fix it, and you were like, "Nah, I'm just gonna send the same thing over." And then he's like, "The courts, the Republican courts." All right, Joe Biden.
Well, and you have talked about a lot.
I'm talking about specifically the forgiveness for school loans or whatever.
We are going to delve into a number of
Okay.
issues you brought up. You talked about all the people coming across the border. Of course, a lot of families also coming across the border as
Sure.
well. I want to talk to you about that a little bit later.
All right, so you made it to the end. Thanks for watching. Remember, comments are great too, and like and subscribe, but mostly comments. Comment, please. I need to know what your thoughts are. The whole part of this entire channel is thinking. Thanks. Come on now. You can do it. Down below. Just type it out. I don't care what it is. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.